I tried my damned hardest to find out something about the MVP. And, I thought I was just going crazy. But after doing the research, and I mean research, trying to find out when the last quarterback has won, which of course was Lamar Jackson this year, who's the last wide receiver, the last tight end, all of this. And I have found out something very serious. The MVP is rigged. It has always been rigged for the quarterback position. Let me tell you why it has been rigged for the quarterback position. I had to search it up. AP NFL Most Valuable Player winners. And when you look at all the players who has won the MVP, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers again, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. And when you keep searching through all the lists, Kurt Warner, you will realize one thing. The last non-quarterback to win the MVP was Adrian Peterson, AP, back in 2012. Ever since 2012, the only MVPs there have been are quarterbacks. Which is very interesting. Because you want to know something? I tried my damned hardest to find the last wide receiver. And maybe it's because I haven't looked through enough. But from my studies, the last wide receiver to win the MVP was Jerry Rice back in 1987. Now there's one particular player I want to talk about. Mark Moseley. He was basically the placeholder with the Washington Redskins. Somehow, in some way, he won the MVP back in 1982, 5 years before Jerry Rice. But you want to know something very interesting? This placeholder, Mark Moseley, has something that every single tight end does not. An MVP. Yes, you heard me correctly. An MVP. No tight end in NFL history has won the MVP. Which is very fascinating to me because you couldn't think of Shannon Sharpe, Rob Gronkowski. Those two tight ends don't ring a bell. You don't look at those players and think, oh, those are just average tight ends. No. Those tight ends, well, one of them is a Hall of Famer. Rob Gronkowski probably will be one. So this placeholder. So when you look at it, placeholders have more MVPs than tight ends. And the last wide receiver to win one, as of right now, because I am trying my damn hardest to stay calm, was Jerry Rice. And that's from all the research I've tried to do. Adrian Peterson, a running back, was the last, not just running back, but the last non-quarterback to win the MVP back in 2012 with the Minnesota Vikings. Do you understand that this is not okay? Not just wide receivers, tight ends, defensive ends, any offensive line, they have been rigged. But the question is, what's the point of the MVP if the quarterback's supposed to win it? Also, the MVP stands for Most Valuable Player. Now, here's a question for you. Was Lamar Jackson the most valuable player? I wouldn't say so. I would say he would be the best player last year. The MVP does not stand for best player. That would be the BP. Or you can even say UP for ultimate player. So, there should be two trophies. Most valuable player and best player. And when you look at these teams, Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, technically those two will be under the criteria of best player. Now understand, when you look at all the statistics, look who has won the MVP. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. This isn't just a one-time thing. Peyton Manning from 2001 has won 5 MVPs. For the last 20 years, Peyton Manning has won 5. Think about it. Think about a quick cycle. Peyton Manning has won 5 out of 20. Oh, I'm sorry. 5 out of 19. And when you do the percentage-wise, 5 divided by 19 is 26%. Peyton Manning has won 26% of all the MVPs, which means that there are 74. 74% of the Art trophies are not Peyton Manning. Now does that. Let's look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady has won 3. Now here's the thing. Peyton has won 5. Tom Brady has won 3. 3 divided by 19 is 16%. You see what I'm getting at? Now, when you add those together, 8 divided by 19, 42%. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, when you add all their trophies together, they have 42% of all the trophies. If you basically round all the trophies up to 100%, they have 42%. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers now. Aaron Rodgers has won 2. Now let's add 10, divide that 19. 56%. So 3 players has won 56% of all the trophies. And Aaron Rodgers got 11% just by himself. So in total, 56% out of 3 players has got the MVP. That is saying something. And those are just the repeats. This is just insane. How could this happen? The MVP is rigged. There's nothing you can do about it unless you change the whole point of it. I hope you guys enjoy my expose on the MVP situation. Who do you think is going to be MVP next year? Probably a quarterback. But the question is, which quarterback is it?